Thank you so much, Mary Kiriaku, who is my wife, and thank you for coming to this invitation and this video recording, an interview on the Pastors of Precision event that has taken place today here in Fullerton. And I have a few questions to ask you as a participant who was part of the appreciation event, and possibly I know you, but possibly introduce yourself to us.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to share in this moment, actually. Yes, as my name was mentioned, my name is Mary Waturi. I'm the wife of Reverend Dr. Johnson Kiriaku. I love the Lord as my personal savior, and I enjoy a lot being God's servant in his house. So at a pastor's appreciation event, this is very close home because my household is a pastor's home. And so thank you.
All right, thank you. So what motivated you to attend this pastor's appreciation event, even though you are a minister's wife?
Yeah.
And what are you hoping to get out of the event?
What motivated me is actually the same thing that has motivated me the last couple of years when I've attended the events, and it's an acknowledgement that the pastor's work and what is done by pastors is actually a very unique role they play in the community, and an entrustment by God of very specific things and very things that cannot be done by anyone. And often that work is not quantifiable, it's not easy to put a price tag on it, and oftentimes it's also thankless. There are not many opportunities that we get to tell them how much of a blessing they are to us. So that motivates me, just recognition of the kind of work they do.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that, and I appreciate that you came because there are specific things that will lead you to want to appreciate pastors. So what kind of impact do you think pastors have on the community, and why do you think it is important to show them appreciation?
It's difficult to generalize all pastors, but I will maybe narrow down to pastors in the diaspora setting, and say their role for the most part is a unifying role. When we are away from home as immigrants, there is something that we get a deeper appreciation of ourselves as Kenyans, as people in the diaspora, as immigrants. And I think one thing that pastors do is help us feel that sense of community, that sense of togetherness, that sense of accord that binds all of us together as people in the diaspora, as Kenyans in the diaspora, as people who have moved from their home country to a new country.
Thank you. And I am sure there are many events that you have enjoyed today and activities. Is there one or two that you have enjoyed most at today's event?
I have enjoyed food. The food was fabulous. Thank you to all the ladies who prepared the food. The decor in the room was also very well done, so it was appealing to sit at this event. And so those are the things that I really have enjoyed. I've also, just the companionship of other pastors today has been very meaningful. Just meeting some of my friends, people that we share the calling together, just socializing with them, that too was a highlight.
All right, thank you. Have you had a chance of meeting? Wow.
Yes.
Not me,
Yes,
at
yes.
least definitely not just me.
Yeah.
But have you had a chance to meet or speak with any other pastor who has attended today's event? And if so, what did you talk about?
I have, of course, because I was at a table with other pastors, of course, I had a chance to speak with them. And one of them is more of catching up. I had not seen her for a while, so it was a bit of catching up. How have you been? And it felt good to socialize in that way. And then all the other pastors that were at the table, it was more of a socializing. How have you been? Checking on one another and greeting each other and updates. And then one of the pastors is newer in the community, so I was also let when she would ask, who is that? I was telling, that is so and so, that is Pastor so and so. So a lot of it was socializing among ourselves.
Okay, thank you. And I guess that was part of it. That was one of the major,
Yes.
I think, things that the organizers needed to accomplish, so that people can socialize even as they acknowledge and appreciate their pastors.
Absolutely.
So how do you think this event in itself will benefit the wider community, and what kind of positive outcomes do you hope to see as a result?
I would hope to see an embracement and a recognition of the role of the pastors in the community, and that's what I hope this and such events would accomplish. A moment to let the men of God, the women of God know that their work is noticed and it's valued, and yes, those are the things, just that the community would recognize the role of pastors among us.
Okay, absolutely. Have you attended similar community events in the past? And if so, how does that or this one compare? Positively or negatively?
I've attended a lot of events in the community, some of a similar nature. I've also attended other pastors' appreciation occasions, some by individual congregations, and even in our church where there are individual congregations, and this one also that is a community event. Each event is unique in its own way. And particularly this one is, there is one vision bearer, Waturi Kiriaku, who has done it year after year as the organizer, and tries and mobilizes her friends and mobilizes the community to come together. To me, that ability to mobilize the larger community and not just within the church is a unique thing about this event. And it's also one that puts a challenge to it, in that the people who are pastored sometimes may not connect all the way well to the event. And for example, in this particular one, there was low attendance in terms of individual congregations, members of the congregation. We had the larger community, people who are not necessarily members who are regulars in a church, but people who in the community who capture the vision. Thank you.
Definitely, Waturi Kiriaku is a powerful community leader, and also thank you for tapping into the low turnout, and sometimes having members who are not necessarily church going, but strong members of the community who see and appreciate pastors. So, how have you found the atmosphere and the sense of community at the event, and how has this impacted your experience?
Actually, my comment at the end of the event is that whoever missed the event, was to their loss. They missed a good event because the environment was beautiful, the decorations, the food, the conduction of the event itself, the moments of conversation, of appreciation of the role of pastors. It was all very well done, and also a preparedness by the worship team brought good music that we all enjoyed. Yes, that the environment was very, very appealing and uplifting, and a good time to socialize.
Thank you. What advice would you give to someone who is considering attending a pastor's appreciation event like this one in the future?
I would encourage them. Many times, like I said at the beginning of our conversation this time, is that oftentimes the role of pastors is not recognized. But one thing that encourages many pastors is a gift of seeing their members in something like this, because it's an acknowledgement of what they feel is the role of the pastor. So anyone who would ever hear of something like this, I would really encourage them to come forth to support not only the pastor, the community too, and also the organizing committee or the organizing individual. I think it is a good thing to do and to support. It is worth the time and the effort.
Thank you once again. And have you learned anything new about the role of pastors in the community or about the work they do as a result of attending this event?
Maybe not something absolutely new, but a few things were highlighted we had not thought about them previously. Often like things like persistence in service, even when circumstances are not very conducive, serving members of the community who are not necessarily church members, but when they've had problems, when there are deaths in the families of people who are not even affiliated with the churches, the pastors are called on. And there was even a mention that some people will think of calling their pastor before they call 911, which is actually just something refreshing to hear that acknowledgement. So yes, maybe not something completely new, but a highlight of some very important roles of the pastors in the community.
As we come to a close, having attended this pastor's appreciation event and many others, how has this particular one impacted your relationship with your own faith or with your own local community?
My own faith, for the most part. The topic of the keynote speaker talked about our gift will bring us before important men, and the lesson for the time was the power of networking, and networking with the right people, networking with people who can move you from one step to another, towards goals, towards bigger goals, towards prosperity, not only one way of prospering, but different ways of prospering. So for me, what I'm taking from this event is actually that the power of networking, the power of bringing what I have authentically, that is my gift, that is me, that I want to bring that to the table. I want to make that the point I connect with other human beings, because that was highlighted too by the speaker, that oftentimes God will use human beings to get us from one point to another. And I hope and pray that I would also be somebody that connects another person to something bigger than themselves and be a blessing to them. So that bringing your gift, to use it to get you to the next level of where God is willing for us to reach our highest potential.
Do you have a last word?
I think for me is a kudos to Joki, and kudos to all the pastors who turned up, especially the pastors who had to stop what they have to do. I want to thank you, Reverend Dr. Johnson Kenyua, for opening the facility, for allowing us to be here, and also for just the support you show in the community, for showing up for so many of us, for showing up for me as a person, for being there for me as a person, despite your many the things that can call you into different directions. directions, but your dedication to what is important to is valued, and I do want to thank you specifically, and also kudos to all the pastors who showed up today.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate your time, and definitely showing up so that we can have this interview, and I'm sure people will learn from the pointers and the words of wisdom that you have brought out from your own experience, and looking forward to celebrating more, and also to have more interviews with you. I don't know if that is...
You know you will find me, and you know where to find me. So, thank you.
All right.
Thank you again.
Okay, thank you, and God bless.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.